just to make sure my microphone's working. Type in the chat, say, yep, mic is all good to go. This is going to be super sweet. So, I've got two panels up here, two 5x7s, and I'm going to try to do two simultaneously with two completely different compositions. So I'm going to be using the reference photo right up here, and I have my iPad pulled up right to the left of the palette, and I've expanded it a little bit outside of the range that you can actually see in the reference, so I'll kind of invent based on both of the images. Oh, barely. How about now? I can turn the mic up. I'm using a new mic. And also, let me know if you're like wearing headphones, if it's only coming in one or the other. Sorry, I'm still figuring all of this out. Thank you, Ian, for getting back. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, couple announcements first. The floral painting sale went absolutely wonderfully. I was just checking just a moment ago. There were 100 floral paintings, priced $1 to $100, and all of them were sold out. Well, right before the stream, I got an email saying that someone accidentally didn't click buy, so number 86 is now available, and it's the only one that's available. So if you go on there, you might accidentally run into some spoiler for tomorrow. If you're not following on Instagram already, go to Instagram at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to have a post go out, a collaboration post, which I am so stoked about, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. And yeah, reminder, if you have any questions while I'm painting, let me know. If you want to follow along or just watch, that's totally cool. I finally figured out how to pull up the chat right below me, so it's a lot easier for me to respond to you guys. Okay, so we'll go over my palette really quick. I've got titanium white, cad yellow. It's funny, we have the local art store, Meiningers, and there was like oh no, it wasn't Meiningers, it was the used art store downtown. I forget what it's called, but I found this enormous Utrecht yellow, and it is just disgusting. So I got it for $7. Like originally this would be like a $35 to $40 tube of paint. I got it for $7. So it's cadmium yellow light. It's kind of a warmer yellow, warmer than lemon. Then right here I've got Indian yellow. I might use a little bit of that. This one in the center is cadmium red light. This is, let me check, Van Dyke brown. That's Winsor Newton. Over here, ultramarine blue, ivory black, sap green, and then this one kind of falling down is a phthalo green. So won't need a lot of that. The one thing I am going to add is oleo gel. Oleo. Let's see, where did I put my oleo? Actually, today I'm going to use solvent-free gel by Gamblin. This is safflower, and it'll dry a little bit faster. Okay, I'm working on two different surfaces today. This is oil-primed linen, and this is this will be a fun comparison. So oil-primed, and this is acrylic-primed. So theoretically, this one should be extremely absorbent. This one is going to be a little bit less, so you can kind of compare and contrast the difference between those two. I'm going to start both of them in the same way and simultaneously with a little bit of vine charcoal. And let's see, love the framing of how I have it displayed on the stream. I'm going to do something similar, having the pink floral right here. So I'm just drawing a very simple silhouette. Like that. That'll do. And then over here, I'm going to actually stretch it just a little bit more, make it a little larger. So each floral painting that I'm doing in the sale is going to be unique. And if you're not already subscribed to my newsletter, actually by the time this stream comes out, there will be the special announcement, which I'm sharing with my newsletter people first. I've been filming all day today. It's been hilarious. I haven't painted at all, so I'm like itching to do this. Okay, this will be much larger. I'm going to kind of create a curve with this one. And I'll do a similar curve, but this way. This is going to be like the construction of the leaves. Some uplifting shapes. And it's important to me to send some of these leaves off. Really, one of these petals could go clear off the edge. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do that though. Okay. Okay, I like that. I'm going to put the charcoal down and grab a pencil, which I think I need to go in this closet. Okay, it's a good idea to always use like an HB pencil or harder. HB pencil or harder. This is a 2B, which is going to make a very dark mark. It'll be easier to see on camera, but for you guys, you don't want it so dark that it starts either showing through the paint or contaminating the colors underneath, or that are going to go on top. I'm adjusting the drawing as I go over it a second time. I'm kind of stretching it a little bit. Okay, like that. This will be a little leaf shape. I like this stem kind of coming out like this, swinging up that way, like this. Maybe a leaf here. I'm going to exclude these guys, have some negative space. I think that's very important. Go like this. And then I've got that upward gesture here. Maybe this leaf off to the right is kind of gesturing up in that way. Then I've got another leaf here and here. Yeah, this would be cool. So you could either follow along with paint, or you could just do a little sketchbook study. Even colored pencil would be fun. But what I want you to get out of this is the way that I'm able to compose from the exact same image in two completely different ways, and proving that they're both going to work out. Okay, and I'll have some little holes in here for the bricks. I think that'll be cool. Like that. Okay, I like that one. Now I'm going back down here. And hopefully by painting two, if you're following along with just one, it'll slow me down. So then you can stay on pace. I'm assuming you're going to be slower. Maybe you're way faster. It's funny when I paint with Kai or Jared or Kyle Ma, Jared Brady, Kylan Chu, I think that's his last name. They are so flippin' fast. It's so crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Painting with Dan, painting with Dan Sprick, we'll go out and paint on location for, I don't know, hours and hours and hours, like 5+ hours. But these other guys will paint for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I'm just getting started by the time they're like, yep, we're done, let's move on to the next spot. It's crazy. And the results are, totally unique. Both so good. But just totally different results. Like, it's like comparing Soroya or Sargent to Jerome or Barg. But what is really interesting is they're all loose. They're a simplified version of the scene. One is more or less more brushstrokey, like Soroya, Sargent, but even the plein air paintings of Dan and Jerome and all those people, they're still very loose. Maybe from afar they all read well from afar. You know what I'm saying. I'll stop. Okay, maybe I'll have a leaf come there. Oh, it's gonna be sweet. Okay, now I'm going to put my curtain rod down, drink some water, and oh my gosh, did you notice this was dripping all the way down? Oh crap. No, I'm just gonna spread it out. There we go, so everything gets contaminated with that. See, the oleo gel stays put. This is old oleo gel, and it doesn't drip, but that Galkid stuff, just look at that. Ew. If you use too much, which I have a feeling I'm about to, it might get overly shiny, which means you won't have to varnish. Let's see, grab some gloves. Okay, I'll take a paper towel and wipe away my charcoal. If you're bored while you're waiting, look in the description for this video. Look at the very bottom link. That's a little surprise. More than a surprise, it's a hint at what tomorrow's surprise is going to be. So now I'm going to do some pre-mixtures. We're going to start light to dark, go back to front, and we're going to start with our flower. So our flower is in warmer light, cooler shadows. So we're going to start light, and I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow. This is the sunlight. Okay. And then we're going to grab the local color of the flower, which is pink, so red. You know what? I think we need one more color for this. We need a very saturated purple. So let's see what the first one I grabbed is. How about... not dioxazine. Here we go. It's a really old tube of quinacridone magenta. There we go. And that way we'll get a little bit more range within the hue of red-violet. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a gradation going from the light side to the dark side, warm to cool. So if you look at the image right up here, notice that the top right is a little bit more yellow-orange, and then on the left side it kind of grays out a little bit, right? It's going to cool off. And we're leaving the warmth of the sun, we're entering the shadow, and what is what's lighting the shadow? It's the blue sky. So it's a simple calculation. You're going to do local color plus light source. Local color, pinkish, orange. Light source, either sun or blue sky. So we're going to do a molecule of this quinacridone in our sky. I'm sorry, our warm side. I want to make plenty because I'm painting two at the same time. Maybe a little more. And these are just ballpark starting points. We're going to adjust and add more nuanced mixtures. Okay, so there's the warm side. Now we're going to make it a little bit darker and towards the middle of the flower. So the middle of the flower is kind of like the core shadow on a sphere. It's going to be darker than the light, and also being at the center of the flower, there's a lot of light passing through the petals, getting kind of trapped in there, and it's also bouncing around. So there's some subsurface scattering. So that is going to be really, really warm. I'm going to grab my most chromatic reds, chromatic quinacridone, and then I'm going to tone it down with just a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Okay, and that way we can hike it up and make it a little more saturated. I'm going to grab that light mixture, and I'm just going to put all of these together. And many mixtures could be accurate. This is just one of many starting points. Okay, we don't want it to be way too dark. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this, put it to the side. Wow, that that medium is making this drip so much more than it usually does. I've been painting pretty much paint out of the tube, as in not a lot of medium recently. Okay, so I'm actually going to grab a little bit more white and a little more yellow, which is what's in this mixture. So for me, the reference is more of a inspiration, a starting point, and then I'll riff on that starting point. And doing these 100 flowers allows me like so much flexibility. Turn the mic down. There's a lot of background noise in this studio. So let me know if you guys hear like cars driving by. Bonjour. Bonjour. Hello. Welcome, welcome. So I just turned the mic down. Let me know if it's still too low. I think it's too low. I'm going to bring it back up. There we go. So feel free to ask any questions. Okay, now we're going light to middle to dark, but on this dark side, what's happening? It's getting cooler, and when we squint at this flower, it's pretty light, isn't it? In fact, even on the light side, even on the shadow side, in the shadow, even on the cool side in the shadow, it's lighter than much of its surroundings. It's almost the equivalent value when squinting to the bricks in the surrounding, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to grab the white, a little blue, and a little bit of the pink. Mix that up. This is going to be way too vibrant. So I'm going to grab a little Van Dyke brown. We like to start from the middle out. Chroma and value. Value. Like that. Now, this color and this color are not relating, whatsoever. Those are distant. I'm going to move these out of the way for the moment. And so, what I'm going to do is, I want to make sure I have plenty of paint. Grab this blue. Tone it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this and mix it in here. And now they're relating. Okay, in the center of the flower, those dark accents, those are going to be the richest, most chromatic colors. So, although I'm starting with the Van Dyke brown, because I want it to start really, really dark. Then I'm going to grab my rich reds, maybe even a little black. this is just a starting point. Let's see. Paper towel. Okay. So now I'm going to mix a general tone for the bricks in the background. Now the bricks are very, very warm, right? I'm going to grab a little bit of burnt sienna. Okay, some white, some burnt sienna, a little Van Dyke brown. And when I squint, I need to make sure that the bricks are darker than the flour. Less chromatic too. Okay, I'm just going to stick with a single value for that. Let's see. I want this to be brighter. I'm going to move that down, grab more white, a little more of this pink, just a molecule, and then a molecule of yellow. Brighter and lighter in value. There we go. A little more yellow. Yellow is high chroma and intrinsically a light value. So you don't need too much of it. Okay. Then I want more quinacridone in here. I want it to be a little more purpley. Okay, next up, we're gonna mix our leaves. After this guy. Okay. Trash. Do you always premix all of your colors first, or does it depend on the subject? That's a great question. It's all based on the mood I'm in. If I feel like premixing, I'm going to premix. There's an advantage, like thinking out each of these steps. It's a lot of forethought at the beginning, but it's going to save me time overall. And because I'm painting 100 of these flowers, I want to have a lot of extra paint because I'm going to make different variations on the same flower but different compositions. Because you joined just a little bit late since I started, you can go to my website. There's one flower left. If you go to 86, if you want to buy one of these. Well, I can't promise you it's going to be one of these, but you'll get a random one. So I'm kind of painting these in batches. And the whole point of this was to just get better at painting florals. You know, brush mileage is how you make it happen. So this is me pushing myself. And if you go to my website, you'll see a secret under the 100 Floral tab. I got a crazy offer today I'm really, really, really excited about. Okay, so our leaves are going to be a combination of a little bit of phthalo blue, ivory black, sap green, and they're going to start really, really dark, and then I'm going to go lighter. I think if you're just starting out painting, I would definitely advise you to do your pre-mixtures. I think breaking things down into their component parts will be of a huge advantage to you. So first you draw, then you mix your colors. Okay, like that. We're almost there, folks. More sap green. So in each one of these mixtures, I'm going to create variations mixing with the brush to be warmer and cooler versions. Any organic subject benefits from broken color. It'll feel much more lifelike and less plastic. If you're painting plastic, like literally plastic, then have, I think, as little variation as possible. Very smooth transitions, and it'll feel real. Load up the palette, Van Dyke Brown. Set down my palette knife, and I'm going to start with this, one of my favorite brushes by Rosemary & Co. It's a Michael Klein round. This is a number 10. I'm working on 5x7s, so this is plenty big enough for the block-in. And you can get a discount on all Rosemary & Co. brushes with my discount code TannerSteedArt down below. So I'm going to start with a little bit of my oleogel medium that I had left over, and I'm going to stain everything that is in my light shape with a little bit of yellow. So we go light to dark, back to front. When I squint, I'm compressing two things together. I'm compressing the bricks and the flower into one shape. One light shape. Notice how I'm able to go over the leaves. Light to dark, back to front, just like watercolor. Maybe not the back to front part. So feel free to follow along or ask any questions. Okay, I'll do the same down here. I found my Oleo Gel by Rublev. Love this stuff. And with this one, I'm changing it a little bit. I'm going to stain it the light color of the flower. This is going to help me not have to fill in all the little white gaps. Remember, this one is oil primed. This is acrylic primed. So this is going to be much more absorbent. Down below, the acrylic primed. This wash is kind of like a warm wash of sunlight before we add our objects. And already, you see, both of them are totally different. I have these clips up here. I'm just going to move them kind of back and forth. Does Oleo Gel quicken drying time like liquid, or is it more similar to thickened linseed oil? It is more similar to thickened linseed oil, so it's going to slow my drying time. I love using everything. I love being flexible. So, my most popular video on YouTube is how to use Liquin the correct way. And I love Liquin. But I also love walnut oil. I love stand oil. I love Oleo Gel. They're all useful. Okay, all like that. Now I'm going to go up here and we're going to block in our flower. I'm just adding a molecule of the light of the flower. We're going to create a gradation going from light to dark, top right to bottom left, starting with that initial mixture. And you can see that it's a semi-transparent application. I can see the pencil going through. It's a little bit thicker with each pass. Okay, I'd say that is kind of the light side. Do the same down below on the right. I'm sorry, down below, right here. Kind of already have it. So I'm going to consider that already blocked in for the light. Okay, I'm wiping my brush in between. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my middle mixture right here. I actually decided my middle mixture here was a little too dark, so notice how I'm using that halftone from before. This represents all of the petals, not the dark occlusion shadows, not the little accents. Okay, so now I'll go like this. Do the same down below. Okay, here's a question for you. If you use a mall stick, comment down below. And this is long term. When this video goes live, people will be able to watch afterwards. I want to keep track of how many people use mall sticks and how many people do not. How many people don't know what a mall stick is? I was talking to Ben Stanford the other day, and he's like, yeah, I assumed that most artists used mall sticks. I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's a weird thing to do, unless your teacher taught you to do it. Okay, now on the left side, I'm going to tap into this cool mixture, and I'm bouncing into that middle mixture. Notice that this side is darker. Right? You might be saying, oh my gosh. Mall man. Yeah. Mall stick, yep. Okay, interesting. That's two for mall sticks. I know if Sue is in the stream right now, she's shaking her head. No mall stick for Sue. I don't know what you would call what she uses. There's a stick involved, but I don't know what's going on there. Okay, light to dark, warm to cool. You guys see that? Keeping it thin. Oh, these are going to be sweet. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the post to come out tomorrow. I worked on it earlier today. I think it's a pretty good video. Never painted in oil yet. I uses a cane. You use a cane. Cool. Yeah, canes work great. Haven't painted in oil yet. Well, I guess if you're just using a pencil, you can use paper to not touch the surface, or acrylic dries really quick, so you may not need it. I find it useful as like a drawing tool. I feel like I'm painting with both hands. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this blue here, blue purple. So the furthest left is going to be the coolest. Oh, I forgot to start my recording. I'm going to start it right now. Wonder if you can download. It's okay. Okay, for the recording that just started, I'm just going to go over the palette. This is for my online students. I upload all the recordings to the website, and that way they have a backlog of all of these instructional videos. So, for you guys, this is titanium white, cad yellow, cad red, Van Dyke brown, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, quinacridone magenta, ivory black, sap green, phthalo blue, and these are my pre-mixtures: light to dark, warm to cool. You've seen this done before. Okay. Alex Venezia uses a cane as a mall stick. Yeah, canes are great. I've seen many artists use canes, because then you can just hang it. Hang it right on the top. I'll use whatever's closest to me. And for now, it was a curtain rod. Okay, now I'm going to wipe this brush off, and we're going to go with a fan brush. This is my favorite fan brush by Rosemary & Co. It's a Series 105. I'm going to go left and right and do the sprick wiggle. Daniel Sprick was my primary instructor, and this is his little blending technique. So I call it the sprick wiggle. Because I'm working on two paintings simultaneously, I'm just going on the light and the dark. Or doing light, light. Now I'll wipe the brush on the paper towel. Oh, let me soften it, actually. Just that section. Okay, stop that. Now go here, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, this flattens everything out, reducing glare. You can see it's just a sphere from light to dark. I'm not afraid to kind of spread it out over the pencil lines. Just a little bit, because I've painted thinly enough to be able to do that. And this fan brush is exceptionally soft. So the softer it is, the less it disturbs the drawing. Okay, let me set that down. And pick up my Michael Klein round again. I'm going to establish one more piece of the gradation. So up here towards the left is going to be more exposed to the blue sky, and therefore it's going to be cooler and bluer. But down below, what's happening? There's light bouncing off of the leaves and going up in there. So we're going to add an additional local color that's influencing our shadows. And like I say all the time, shadows are mirrors. So if that shadow plane is facing in the direction of another high chroma local color, then it's going to take on those characteristics. So I'm going to take my purple mixture here, which is the cool side, right? And I'm going to introduce a molecule of phthalo green. Phthalo green. Okay, maybe even a little bit of my leaf mixture. Okay, all of this is wet, so it's not going to take too much. I'm just tinting these a little bit more green. I'm testing out the value. I think we could go just a little bit lighter. So you can lighten with two colors. Actually, you can lighten with any color if it is lighter than the mixture, right? So this red, if I squint, is almost equivalent, but this yellow and this white, they are both lighter than the mixture. So I can lighten with white or yellow or both. Yellow is going to warm it up, white is going to cool it off. A little bit of both. I'm going to start by just tapping it in. Tap. Why am I tapping it? It's just a slow dispersal of that pigment. A little bit lighter. And I'm thinking of this as a zone, like a zone on a portrait. Right? The zones on the portrait, forehead's more yellow, cheeks are more red, disregarding the mouth, but around the mouth is more blue. And this flower, it's shifting based on the environmental circumstances, what's next to it. Whereas the portrait, that's more of local color shift. Okay, now I can take that fan brush out again, or I can just tap, tap, tap. Yeah, we'll take the fan brush out. Some vertical sprick wiggles. Left, right. Okay, verticals. Left, right. And because I'm working on a white surface, all of this looks very dark. It's not that dark. Just wait until I put in the leaves and the brick. I'm liking this lower one. That composition's unique. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done either of these yet, but nothing that extreme. Interesting. Okay. So now, nope, light to dark, back to front. So I almost broke my own rule. I'm going to clean my brush using a little bit of solvent. I try to limit my solvent use as much as possible. So it's a step away and I'm locking it up. I'm working in a small room here. This is not my normal studio setup. So if you're also in a small room, make sure you have proper ventilation, you crack a window or whatever. I'm not going to crack a window because it's too loud outside. But yeah, you don't want to expose yourself to that stuff. That, bad news. Okay, now we're going to do our background. And we're going to paint a little bit thicker and a little more scrubby. See what we can get away with. Generally, I like to keep things a little bit too light at the initial stage and then go darker as time goes on. So this is the brick. Poke. That's plenty dark. We're going to ignore all of the grout, okay, or the mortar. Okay, in this one, I am not including that green leaf. We'll see how it looks. I can always add it on top if I want it. I'm going to go around the dark shapes, because now I'm painting thicker, and I don't want the green to be contaminated. By poking, it'll feel more like brick. It's giving a bit more texture than if you didn't do that. Down here, checking my So in the photo, there's a lost edge. The shadow side here is as dark as the brick is. So these are the same. So you can either paint it flat and glaze a gradation, or if you're painting alla prima, then we can make the mixture just a little bit darker right now. There we go. Poke, poke, poke. I'll have a leaf go like that. Okay, we'll have a leaf there. And one there. As we move to the left, it's getting a little bit darker. Okay, that'll be a leaf up there. And a hole right there. Okay, never miss an opportunity to lose an edge. Absolutely. Someone was listening. That's right. Either you heard it from me or you heard it from Dan. Okay. I think the most exciting part in a floral painting is when you put in the dark accents. So stay tuned for that, because that's when, boom, everything just activates. Because look at where we've painted. We've only been in a very, very limited range. I heard it from Emily Olson. She did mention the advice is from Dan. Yeah, Emily is awesome. It's such good advice. Dan is the man, and he has inspired and influenced all of us here in Denver. Emily and I are in the same painting group. We meet up once a week on Wednesdays to paint and draw the figure. She does her watercolors, and she's been doing a lot of ink drawings. I'm sure you've seen those with the ballpoint pen. It's so impressive. So good. Okay, at this stage I'm going to keep everything just pretty crisp. Pretty crisp. Okay, checking my value again. Squint, same value, different color. I like it. Okay, that looks good. Got that. Over here. Remove that petal on this one. Extra petal. I'll have it in here, not here. And there's that gap, that sky hole. Boom. This. And like that. this is kind of homogenizing the mixture a bit more, lightening it a touch, and getting that brick-like visual texture. Visual as opposed to physical. I'm taking off the paint a little bit more. So this room I'm in is pretty warm, and so this is going to set up quicker than if it wasn't. There's two factors for oil paint drying. It's heat will increase the rate of oxidation, but also light, surprisingly. Even just the fact that there's sunlight hitting a piece, it will oxidize faster because it's a chemical reaction. Okay, like that. I was following a bunch of your group on socials before realizing you're all drawing together once a week. Oh, funny. Yeah, maybe you saw Paul Houston, and that kind of like grouped everyone together, because he draws the model and everyone in the room. He's so good. If you don't follow Paul Houston, go follow him immediately. I bet you do. He's got like 1 million followers. Okay, now for the exciting part. We're going to do our leaves. So light to dark, back to front. This leaf mixture is pretty dark, but it's not all the way down to black. We'll reserve that to the very end. Okay, with this, I'm going to keep it also pretty thin. Okay, and I wish this was a bit more of a transparent mixture, so I'm actually going to grab more sap green and ultramarine blue and adjust it a little bit. I just like the effect that gives. Notice how I'm poking? Poke, poke, poke. I'm also going to adjust the exposure on this a little bit. There we go. Now you can see a little bit better the local color variation in the darks. So I might oscillate back and forth between exposing for the lights, exposing for the darks. Okay, so regardless of if you're seeing light or shadow on these leaves, whoa, I'm going to block them in the same. That initial wash is allowing the paint to flow off very easily. Exactly, it's thanks to Paul Houston's drawing that I had the light bulb moment. Wait, I know these people. Yeah, that's that's great. Yeah, Paul is the man. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, so I wonder where he is. He wasn't there last night. Okay, do you see? As I'm adding these darks in, the flower is starting to slowly emerge, come to life. And I'm also correcting my drawing with each subsequent mixture. Blues in the edge. Go like that. Okay. Before that looked not very green, or it looked much more green now that there's a green in. See how it's just leaning towards green. We'll obviously be making adjustments. Oh, this will be interesting. Making sure that I don't bump into the bottom one. Oh, that'd be cool. Combine them. Like this. Brushstroke. Is this leaf? Ooh. Okay. Somebody's getting more efficient. Yeah, what's going on here? What if I did that? I don't know. Kind of gimmicky. So I have a question for you guys. What are your favorite brushes? If you only had one brush to do everything with, what would it be? Or let's say two. If you have two brushes to paint everything, whether you're watercolor, oil, whatever you use, what are your favorite brushes to use? Puzzle canvas. Whoa. That's crazy. Honestly, that might be the way to go for these 100 paintings. Yeah, go to the website, and if you want to get a painting for $1 to $100 plus shipping, now's your chance. Okay, like that. Left a gap here accidentally. That was supposed to be the bricks. Filbert number 2, flat synthetic. Awesome. Yeah, that is a versatile brush. That's a really good one. Filbert number 2. How big is that? What brand? Oh, and I see another. Number 8 Hog Filbert, and then a number 2 flat. Okay, I totally misread that. I'm sorry. Sweet. Hog Filbert. Oh, that. Okay, so that cakes on a bunch of paint, and then you can use the flat synthetic to make more sharp edges. That's great. That's a fabulous combination. I would say, for me, probably this Michael Klein round, and then I like the silver brushes. Makes the Renaissance series. Those are unbelievably intoxicating. I love them. I'd probably do a big Michael Klein round. I like blocking in with these, and then I like finishing off a painting with the synthetics. I'm sorry, the Renaissance series, which are natural hair. Very, very, very soft. Oh, I've got that Oliver Tree song stuck in my head. So sad. I didn't really listen to his music, but that helicopter crash is just awful. Okay. So notice that it requires a fully loaded brush with each brush stroke. There are a few, and as I say that I get like 3 or 4. There are very few strokes that I can get multiple. There we go, keeping this sharp. It's going off the canvas. The top one we have leaves going off the canvas. This one, the flower going off the canvas. I think they both work for their own reasons. And for the same reason that we stab the bricks, to create that texture, we're going to be doing the same here with the leaves. If I'm working indirectly, I like leaving all of the leaves with kind of a stabbing texture and then painting on top of that transparently. It mimics the organic quality of the pores in the leaves. Makes them look a little bit older and just significantly more interesting. I don't want to leave any white, so I need to remember to remove this clamp. Move that up there. Okay, now I'm going to come back with my brick, and I'll use a smaller round brush. Take the lid off, I clean my brush, put it back on. Okay, here's my brick. A little bit of contamination is totally fine. We actually want the influence of the green in the background for the same reason that we wanted the green in the bottom of the petals. Put this down here, this here. So these florals are sold both framed and unframed. So I want to make sure that they look good, even if they're just sitting on a little easel. A French dude, I would keep 2 Raphael... Oh, you're a French dude. I would keep 2 Raphael brushes, a squirrel, and a Kolinsky. Ooh, fantastic choices. Yeah, those are lovely brushes. Awesome. Are you living in France? You watching from France? What time is it there? I have a feeling you're not. Why? It'd be too early? Too late? What time is it? I have no idea. What time is it here? Let's see. It's 6 p.m. here in Colorado. I live just outside of Denver. As does Ian. Ian is one of my students. I'm in France, and it's 2 in the morning. What are you doing? Wait, 2? 2 o'clock? 2? What? Go to bed, you freak. awesome. I hope you're painting too. I'm a morning person. You're a rebel. Wow, yeah, you totally are. I'm a morning person. I cannot handle staying up late. I'm such an old man at heart. I've been that way since I was a little kid. Like, well, it's 8 p.m. Time for bed. So it's funny. I usually teach a lesson Thursday nights, and I'm always so tired after a long day of painting. I get to work at like 7 a.m. Usually I start work here at home. This is my home studio. Oh, sorry. This is my home studio, and then I'll head to the studio in Denver. Spend a little bit of time there. Okay, what am I doing here? Boom, boom. What is that? What? Okay, I'm gonna put a brick here. No, that's supposed to be a leaf, Tanner. Oh. Shoot. Okay. I missed one. Just means I have to paint a little bit thicker. There we go. There we go. I kind of liked it when it went right off the edge, but whatever. Yeah, just having that tiny little spot. I don't know if that works. Shoot. Okay. And then on this, got this leaf coming up. Make sure all of your shapes are not perfectly symmetrical. It's not gonna feel organic whatsoever. It'll feel symbolic, which is cool, but not what we're going for here in this piece. Okay, then that means that this is supposed to go here. Do you still sketch first thing in the morning alongside your first cup of coffee? I do some form of sketching. My morning routine has been wake up, let the dogs outside. I have a cat too, so feed the cat, feed the dogs, get my coffee, open up a random book. I have a pretty incredible art book collection, and I'll study that, get inspired, usually looking at an art book for like straight up 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I've got to paint. So I like start some kind of artistic project. Sometimes I'll plan for a future one. I've got a lot of things in progress. Paintings and projects like my online art school, which will be launching here shortly. Been working my butt off getting that all set up. Okay, these stems are going to lean a little more red, so I'm grabbing a little bit of this. See, when you make pre-mixtures, it allows you to, notice how I grabbed from this pile, which is from the floral mixtures, rather than up here. It allows me to stay harmonized so much more easily. Okay, like that. Might add a leaf here, maybe not. Got a little bit too thick on that. That's okay. Come back in with my brick. Trim it. so now we're going to put in our dark accents in the petals. I'm going to look at these in the mirror. Whoa, cool. Nice. Okay. So now we're going to go in the middle. We're going to put in some of the dark accents. So there's two ways of going about this. Either you can do all of your lights first, and then all of your darks. It's totally up to you. They both work. I'm going to make this as light as I possibly can. So I'm not going to go dark yet. I'm going to clean my brush. Okay, and I need more clean titanium white. Total mess. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions you have. So on the right is going to be our light, right? It's warm, and a little pink. I'm going to see if I can go even brighter than what we currently have, which I think we're going to be able to do. The only thing brighter than white is painting white thick. So I'm going to change the exposure here. Oop, wrong way. So you can see the lights a little bit. So I'm adding a little yellow and a little pink into this. You always want to add a high chroma color into your lights, so it doesn't take a lot of that color to tint it. Very grateful for your live streams and teaching. Love your paintings. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Happy to help. Did either of you snag one of the florals? Did anyone here snag any of the floral paintings? France is a little far away. Be tough to ship there. Okay, so I'm squinting down, and I'm going to lay in my lightest lights. Okay, and these are, flowers are hard to... People think that flowers are difficult because you kind of get lost, right? But all I want you to do is start with where you know. So up here in the silhouette, I know where that petal is. So I can just start poking in and crawling down. Now I'm in here. Dot there. And these are going to be minute value changes, mostly color shifts. And that's okay. We're going to keep it very, very simple. Very subtle. Not very simple, it's a flower. Okay, and I'm going to be applying the paint like these pointilles. little dots. Okay. If I'm noticing a significant color shift, I might tint it a little bit more, but it's not the priority. Value is always the priority. Value does the work, color gets the credit, but sometimes color deserves the credit, because that's what makes you feel. Value can make you feel too, but I think color can really make you feel a certain way. Yeah, I'm afraid of shipping the tariff. Oh yeah, no, that's not a good idea. Very grateful for your live streams. Yeah. Yeah, I ordered a ring from Europe, and that was a wake-up call, to say the least. The tariff that I had to pay was so stupid. Was not ready for that. Felt terrible for the seller. I did end up paying for it and received it, but oh, so stupid. And I'm gonna go here, just going pedal to pedal, doing these little taps. If it's light, it's being hit by the primary light source. And it's all relative, right? So when I tap, it's kind of mixing into the paint underneath, which dilutes it a bit and makes it not as bright. If I want a bright mark, I can lay down a clean brush stroke. We do not have to include every single petal either. We can omit some of them and it's still going to look like a flower. As long as you're describing the fall of light accurately, you're going to be just fine. Pink as this local color shifts over here, and some of that orange is still going to come through with the taps. Mixes in. And all the paint underneath is wet, right? So I can clean my brush and just manipulate it. Pull it up. I'm squinting. Okay, as we move to the left, the blue reflected light is going to be infecting it. So, just a second, let me plug in my iPad. So I'm going to mix a light blue down here, some phthalo. quinacridone. So phthalo blue and quinacridone magenta. So everything that I laid down is kind of the halftone value. Think of it that way. Kind of a little more white, more of this pink. The color I have underneath is contaminating intentionally, and that is going to influence our perception of what we're applying on top. It's preventing us from going too light in those areas. Growing a little more white, a little more quinacridone, a little more green. Poke, poke, poke. Pointille, pointille, pointille. If you do this in multiple layers, it ends up having this like gem-like quality. It's so cool. All the primo you can get this pretty cool effect, and yeah, it can look really, really nice, but there's some things with indirect painting that are just so cool, so unique. A little superficial, but starting to come to life. Let me know what timestamp did it work for you. So for a while it's like, what is he doing? I don't know. I'm starting to see it. Just wait until the dark accents get in there. That's the fun part. The closer we get to the center, the higher chroma. Already enchanted. Alright. Sweet. I gotta make my way back out to France. I went there like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was, so cool. You guys are pretty lucky to have the art collections that you do. You've got some incredible stuff in the States, but you got some big names, don't you? Do you guys hear the train? I'm still questioning how sensitive I want my microphone. I've got a train nearby. There you go. there's a very light note. It's very pink. Just gonna lay it on nice and thick. Right here. Right there. That looks good. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. That should have been a dark mark. Actually, right there. I take the brick color and darken it a touch. Nah, it needs to be more chromatic. I think the USA has a bigger collection, but it's scattered all around the... Yeah, that's right. In France, 90% is in Paris, which makes it easier to see. Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely spread out here. I'll be in New York July 18th for the Art Renewal Center show. I have a painting in the Sotheby's auction for the Art Renewal show. Really excited about that. I think that'll be wonderful. And we're going to spend the entire day that we're there, because we're only there for a day, unfortunately, at the Met. They have so many incredible pieces. Jerome, they've got Bastien Lepage, Joan of Arc, Repin, Dagnan Bouveray, Leighton. They have Flaming June there. That's like my favorite. I mean, I love them all, but that's a good one. Okay, that's looking pretty sweet. Okay, what would you prefer to watch? Do you want me to put in the dark accents here, or do the lights down here and keep these at the same pace? Before you answer that, I'm going to work on the bottom one a little bit. Dark accents. Yeah, that's probably much more entertaining. Just wonder if I can do this faster than the top one. We get 12 more marks. 1, 2. Oh, you know what else is in the mat is the Fantin Latour, his floral paintings. Those are wonderful. Ooh. Now let's see if this one can be faster. And whoa. Yeah, let's put in the dark accents. Okay, so dark accents, we're going to go with this guy, actually, first. Slowly descending into darkness. So we'll go one right here, because the dark accents in the top of the flower are not going to be quite as dark as down in here. They're also going to be richer in the center. So ready? Moment of truth. There's one. Watch as they accumulate. Might be a little too dark for that spot. So I lay them down, and then I will come back and apply the necessary gradations. Soften the marks. The maul stick is so handy. For this part. One back here. Let's see. Ooh, that was too thick. That's okay. Come back and pick that up later. Put that in here. I may not need to go darker, actually. We'll see. Nah, I always put in little black holes. Because that is what brings the flower towards us. Oh, if you haven't done so already, because I'm just starting these streams up and I'm going to be doing a ton of them, it'd be nice to have more people here. So if you could make sure to like this video and share it with your friends, I'd really appreciate that, because I'm going to be coming on here much more frequently. A lot in the month of July and August. Be working from the home studio. Isn't that amazing? Even just laying those down, it's starting to work. Put one up here, diffuse that quite a lot. It's a good idea to have as few dark accents in the light shape as possible. That way it feels really bright and a little washed out. It's so bright. All the darks have become washed out. Yeah. Nice. Okay, now we'll do our gradations. red coming out too much. So I more or less just want to soften right where I have that mark. This area might need to get a little more green. Yellow. For these smaller shapes, sometimes that wiggle occurs just with the shake of your hand. So you don't need to do too much more. So cool. It's exciting for me, if I'm being honest. I'm already seeing immense progress just in the 20 some odd that I've done. So when I get to those last 20, oh man, I think this is going to be a very worthwhile endeavor. So I have a question for you. Leave in the comments. If you were to do 100 paintings, what subject would you choose? What do you want to progress in? What would matter to you? If you could just really level up, what would that be in? I like to paint everything, so it's important to me to be able to paint flowers and people and landscapes. And then eventually I'm going to integrate all of them, multiple figures and large landscapes. One of my favorite painters is Alma Tadema. Okay, look closely. I'm going along the edge of these and softening into the green. That's making just one last turn into the dark. the time I get down to this one, that's going to be pretty set up because it's the acrylic ground, which there's huge benefits to that too. I like both. Portrait, landscape, then flowers. Awesome. Imagine if you did 100 portraits. That would be such a cool endeavor. And for that, set a time limit. I have a time limit for these. And doing 2 simultaneously is going to help. And what's cool about this is I can learn from my mistakes on one and adjust on the next. Look at it that way, mistakes or just different alterations, different choices that aren't necessarily better or worse. So you can do 2 of the same portrait. Soften this leaf back here. I'm ahead of myself a little bit. But a rule of mine that I think everyone should adopt is you don't let anything out the door that you're not proud of. Because whatever you sell is an advertisement, right? And like I said this in the last stream, that like what you're proud of today, you may not be proud of next week or next year. But I still think it's a good rule of thumb. Few YouTubers have done 100 portraits in gouache. It's very, a few. Oh, that's very entertaining. Who are some of your favorites? I think gouache is so cool. I'd love to watch those. Let's see, people who paint in gouache, I like James Gurney. He's so cool. Such a kind individual too. He was at Portrait Society last year, 2 years ago? I don't know, something like that. And I missed that keynote speaker, that's right. My friends got to see him. I was on my way to Egypt. That was the year I went to Egypt. Sorry, I'm just French. My English is not fully rendered. Oh, no. You're doing a fabulous job. I totally understand. I just keep misreading. The way the chat is set up on my computer, it omits some words. It like repositions them, and it's kind of confusing. Your English is fantastic. Okay, I'm liking that. It's a good start. I'm gonna walk away. Sometimes I have to look away and then look back, and it activates a little bit more. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Still some edges that are a little too sharp. Okay, so it's been 2 hours. All right, I'm gonna do 1 more hour. We're gonna start by adding black. So now we're getting really, really dark. A little bit of black, a little bit of blue, some sap green. This is ivory black, by the way. And I'm going to put in some dark holes underneath the flower. Like right here. Right here. Maybe one right here. What about this guy too? So these are like little shadows that the petals are casting onto the leaves, or they're the leaves onto the other leaves. And I'll reserve the darkest darks for right underneath. I want a gradation. Gradation's everywhere. It's a good rule of thumb. And it's really just that simple. It's value gradation. Value and hue. Value and temperature, rather. Okay, that's nice. Oh, you guys can't really see that, so I'm going to expose for my darks now. Might be overdoing it a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get all upward facing planes of the leaves. And those tend to be a little bit more blue. So I'm going to grab that phthalo green, some phthalo blue, and some white. And when I squint at the leaves, the lightest part of them, maybe the ones in the top left, they're almost the same value as the bricks in the background. So I don't want to make it too much lighter. It would be more of a temperature difference than anything. Okay, and I can whip these out pretty quick because I'm going to block in the same exact directional plane. Here's that tapping motion again. And by adding these cool notes, the warmth in the flower is going to punch out a little bit more. Another gradation. That one's going there. A little lighter here. A little lighter here. Notice that the angle of my brush has been the same way for every one of these strokes. That's because it's the same plane, reoccurring. Nice, I like that a lot. Good job, Tanner. Thanks, Tanner. Gotta be positive while you can. Painting's hard. Do you see how that tapping motion kind of adds an organic quality? Oh, I like it. Back up again. Nice. Okay, why don't we add some of the grout? So, change the exposure a little bit. Other way. Nah, I'll keep it right there. Okay, yeah, it's the most accurate, honestly. Okay, I'm going to make some scratch marks indicating where my grout pattern is going to go. And we're kind of looking at this in perspective, so these are angling down a little bit, but they're going to be more or less horizontal. Okay, vertical here. The scratches are great, they're just feelers. You know, I can lay them down. If I don't like it, I can stab the canvas again and try any mark. It's like an eraser. Okay, got a brick, got a brick, got a brick. Muy bien. That was Spanish, by the way. That's right, I speak 2 languages. Just kidding. I wish I did. I'm very embarrassed by that. Okay. The grout, I'm going to make green-ish, and that's going to make the bricks feel warmer. Okay? So, white, phthalo, Van Dyke. White, phthalo, Van Dyke, a little yellow. And I'm going to go on a stabbing marathon once more. Ready, set, go. Poke, 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 poke. Testing that out. I'm going to pause to green. I'm going to add white, go more yellow. White and yellow with a little bit of contamination of the green. Okay, and I want it to mix in a little bit. I don't want it to be quite as bright as the flower. There we go, I like that. Real subtle, more of a hue shift. I didn't expect that light value on the leaves to harmonize the whole painting. Yeah, isn't that nuts? It's pretty cool. That's exactly right. It immediately harmonized. Okay, here's that. Boop. We'll add another vertical here, on there. Okay. See, I'm going to change the exposure. It's not that bright. I'm not making those marks that luminous. Yeah, it looks much more intense on the stream. Whoa, if I released that clamp, the whole thing was going to come down. I'm just going to tap this. See, all the paint is very wet. There we go. Leave that there. Make sure your verticals are perfectly vertical. I'm trying to correct this. Okay. Now all of the downward facing planes are going to be darker than the upward. So I'm just going to take that brick color actually, lay it on a little thicker, and as we look up at the bricks, we're going to see the bottom plane of them a little bit more. So we can put in that little cast shadow. I want to compress the value range back there, so I'm not going too dark. So the rule is if it's facing to the left, like the flower, it's going to be darker and in shadow. And if it's facing down, like these, it's going to be darker. Like this. It's a little bit of sediment in the mortar, right? It's not just one homogenized mixture. It's a little bit. There's some rocks in there, okay? You get it. Okay. I think that one is pretty much done. I might add some tweaks, some Van Dyke Brown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this one. And if I look back and I'm like, geez, how did I miss that? Then I'll put that in. I will put one dark warm mark. I don't even think I used this mixture yet. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to put in one. It's going to go right here. And we'll do one more right here. Okay, one more. Right there. And there. That looks pretty good for an alla prima sketch for my floral sale. Make sure to go over there and check that out. There might be some left, or there might be some new ones. Wink, wink. Okay, because I'm nearing the end of the stream, and tomorrow is when I'm coming out with this, I'll just say it out loud. So, I sold all 100 paintings, right? Pretty quick. And now I'm going to be doing 25 more. After I've done all 100 of these, I'm going to do 25 more on ARTEFEX aluminum panels. So they're the most archival panel you could possibly work on, the nicest quality surface. I'm so excited. And I'm going to do 25 after the 100, so I'll be significantly more experienced by the end of that. I'll do 20 of my best alla prima paintings, and those are going to be what is available on my website on tannerseedart.com. So if you're interested in getting one of those, snag them early because they're going to sell out quick as soon as my newsletter drops. My collectors are very likely going to jump on that. And I'm also making a collaborative post tomorrow with ARTEFEX, and they are, we're going to be doing, I'm going to do more live streams, and now if you guys want to work on the exact same surface that I will be for those last 20, then you can actually go to the link down below. There's a discount code below for the 5x7 panels. There's like a bundle that they made for this, and if you, there's like a code in the description of this video. It's like double my order or something like that, and they will literally double your order for free for if you buy this bundle pack. But you have to go through the link that is at the very bottom of the description of this video. So definitely jump on that. I'm so excited. I think I'll be one of their ambassadors in the next day or so, which I'm so excited. They're the best panels. I mean, hands down. You cannot get better than that. And they even have watercolor panels too. Oh, they're so nice. And yeah, I spent like all day today filming a video. And I filmed a couple videos. I've got a couple things coming out that I'm really excited about. But the video I did today for tomorrow's drop, I am thrilled with. Okay, it's probably my best like Instagram video. So okay, that one is done. Now I'm going to move down to this guy. Let me know if you have any questions about any of that. Thanks, Ian. Maybe on this one I will start with my darks. Okay, this is going to go here. To here. Congrats on that partnership. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm stoked. Oh, and this is kind of cool too. They're going to be engraving my signature on the back of each of the panels for those 25 pieces. I'm sending them a vector image, and I think that'll be really cool. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. It's probably so loud. Maybe I need to reposition it. We're always learning. I just did it again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually I'm going to lower it. Should still be able to hear me well, I would assume. Poke, poke, poke. Look at that. I'm connecting them. Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. One painting. 2 paintings, 1 artist. Wink. Da-da-da. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush. Oh no, actually, I can transition cleaning it by putting in my darks. That's right, this time I'm going to start with the darks. So we're going to go really, really dark right there. So we go tap, 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 crawl up. So the other one I started with the top petals. Now I'm going to start with the bottom petals. This can be just the same. There. Tap, 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 tap. It's amazing what a relatively accurate silhouette can do. Okay, we're going to warm it up as we get closer to the center. Go here. Tap, tap, tap. Lay in a mark. Warmer and lighter as we get closer to the light. dark, dark, dark. One, two, three. Do I want to omit one of these? No, I'll try to include it, actually. This. And that goes out there. Connection. I'll move that up a little bit. Make sure this is rich. I'll move that light up. And then there's a little dark, dark, come down here, dark. Sorry, I was getting lost on ARTEFEX website. I was not aware of how extensive their product range is. Yeah, it's amazing. And you get a discount with that link in the description, and on any product. It doesn't have to be the oil products. So yeah, definitely try those out. They're so good. And their marketing is hilarious. I'm not sure if you, I'm sure you've seen some of their stuff. They bunch of goofballs working there. Right, Ian, you got to meet them at Portrait Society. Anton. Yeah, another product I'd recommend on their website is the copper. Get a copper panel. That's for oil. And when you get the copper panel, I think you can paint directly on it, but I would advise you actually to take garlic and rub it all over the panel. That will create a bit of a tooth, actually, for your oil paint to adhere to it. The more you know. Proofing paintings. Maybe I'm too tired. I don't know what you mean. What is proofing paintings? Oh my gosh, vampire proofing paintings. See? It's the chat makes it like a little stretched and I don't read it. Vampire should know a lot about light fastness though. Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. Nice one, Ian. That's hilarious. Garlic on the panels, yeah. That's so good. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? I better pick up this book. I keep kicking a book that I had. Oh! Somebody just joined my email list. Fantastic. They're going to find out about the sale. Okay, I'll pause really quick. If you don't have this book already, you absolutely have to get it. Here, hold it here. The Art of the Salon. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my morning reads. They've got, oh my gosh, the most incredible pieces in here. Look at that. There's a Tatama. And it's a huge book. I love big books like this. Look, compared to my head, it's a large one. Yeah, De La Roche. Probably very much mispronouncing that. I'm embarrassed. We have someone from France. Oh man. I was convinced you were making sure we were still paying attention. Oh yeah. Maybe I was. Now I'm going into the lights. Into the light. Okay, from here to there. Here. Yeah, I need more quinacridone. I hope you guys are painting too. Or drawing. What are you guys working on? And if you're not working on something, why don't you get something out and pretend like you were working on it the whole time. Alright? The teacher is looking over your shoulder right now. What are you working on? Talking to you, Ian. What are you working on? Don't be embarrassed. I've been asking around, and I still haven't found something who've heard of Boogaroo. What? Really? That's crazy. How do people not know Boogaroo? In France. I think you guys, I'd assume you're a heck of a lot more sophisticated than American culture. My gosh. Maybe not. I don't know. We're pretty embarrassing right now. I think we're always very embarrassing. Ugh, yeah. Anyways. Embarrassing is an understatement. Okay. You're drawing. Good. I myself discovered him through American YouTuber. Okay. That's good to know. Good, I'm glad you're drawing. Ian. That's light. Bright light. Bouguereau has been erased from French memory, even among art people. Yeah, that's so unfortunate. I am so glad that I didn't go to a standard university. And I mean, okay, I went to a standard university, but I didn't study art. I've heard so many horror stories of people encouraging people to destroy his work and just talk crap about it. And sure, they're sentimental, right? Whatever. They're so well done. They're beautiful. But that's exactly right, Tanner. They're just beautiful. They're not saying something. You know? Sometimes beauty is just needed in the world. Everyone is saying something. Sometimes we need moments to just breathe. Something serene. I'm rubbing colored pencils on paper. Does that count? Yeah, that counts. Absolutely. Good job. Okay, give me just 1 second. My dogs are barking at something. I'll be back in less than 5. Alright, I'm back. Oh, make sure you stretch. Crack that back. Okay. I'm gonna start laying in some light greens in these. Some greens and yellows. Breaks are important. Sometimes I forget about them. Even just walking out of the room. Like, it's so nice to work from a model, because they remind you to take breaks. Right? You're like, oh my gosh, they are human. Oh, and so am I. But there are some models that actually don't take a lot of breaks, and I actually tend to notice that. I like anticipate the break, and then they're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, but I'm not good. Like, I need to lay down. I'm not trying to be lazy here, but just using a lot of mental energy. Dog Remy has entered the room. Hi, Remy. She is a German Shepherd, Husky, something else. She's cool. She's my running dog. Likes to go and runs with me. And my goal every time I go running is to outrun her, so she ends up behind me. I'm like, that's right, I'm human. We were born to run. Silly wolf. I think one of the ultimate results of this practice is I'm going to find a way to be even more efficient. But the way that I'm painting these is not going to look the same as the ones that I eventually will be painting at the very end. We shall see. Yeah, I've always wanted to have a regular schedule for live streams. If you're watching this and want to have an influence on that, comment what your preferred time is. Day of the week, preferred time. Do you like mornings? Do you like afternoons? Weekdays, weekends? What's your favorite? When do you find yourself watching a live stream? Tap tap, yep. A lot of tap tapping. These pointilles are miniature pointillism. I'm also building up the paint, and it is creating a physical texture. And the thicker the paint is, the more glare it will produce, which will make it appear lighter and brighter. Lighter and brighter, it's the same thing. Uh-oh, I'm getting tired, getting redundant. No, I gotta go till, oh, it's almost 8? No way. I gotta finish this guy. After I finish this, I'm done. I'm done. I'll do 2 more tomorrow. And these are not the only paintings that I'm working on. I'll do 2 more, and then I have some personal work. Trying to finish this painting of camels to submit to a competition. Really excited about that. Okay, we'll get some of this green involved here. Wiggle, wiggle, tap, tap, tap. Nice, I like that. I like that. The greens are radiating off of the pinks. Looks really nice. See See what I mean by starting from the middle out? Most of the picture is actually more or less grays, and then you get these notes of high chroma, and it just, boom, activates everything. Form is more like a cylinder, it's going to have a softer edge. So this leaf is turning back into space. This is a cast shadow. It's going to be a little softer. Because the light is indirect. This is not direct sunlight. This is, this whole wall was in shadow. Let me think, where was this? This was in Anne Boleyn's childhood home. That's where I took this photo. It's the rose gardens in the UK. Let me think. Is it Thornbury Castle? No. Windsor? No. Help me out. What's Anne Boleyn's childhood home? That's where this was. In this one I'm going to add some greens, some warmer greens, to see how that affects it. See if you like that. We'll add our bricks like this. Be in the exact same place. There we go. Do our white and yellow green mixture. Tap, tap, tap. Just a little bit brighter. Put in our dark. lose an edge, lose it. I'm bringing the green into the darks here. I'm ready to lose. Let's see, that one I do not understand. You ready to lose? Wait, I'm ready to lose. This one is almost done. Oh my gosh, we might make that 8 o'clock time. That's so cool. Look at me getting faster. I'm gonna go tell my mom. Lose an edge, yes. I'm ready to lose an edge. That's one thing that I haven't really done, is introduce some of the rose color into the leaves. It's a good idea. There we go. So the light is hitting here and bouncing up into this leaf. The closer it is, it might absorb just a touch. That's the key, maybe this one too. Late morning. Late morning is your preferred. Great. I think I'm going to be doing a mix of morning and evening streams, so stay tuned. Make sure you ring the bell, have the bell notifications on if you're enjoying this, if you're learning something. It can help me grow this, because I'm going to be doing 100 floral paintings. So you can like the video. That would be really, really helpful. And ask me any questions that you have now or later, after the stream is over. I read all the comments and I try to get back to everyone. I'm here to help you. Eastern time. Okay, Eastern time, let me calculate. Late morning Eastern time, yeah, actually that'd be perfect for me. Because I like to start a little bit earlier, and I'm mountain time. Alright, better see you there. Painting, teaching, and entertaining a live chat all at the same time is quite the gig. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. This is pretty sweet. If I can keep doing this regularly, it's naturally going to grow, and yeah, having a great time. Wow, this blue looks so nice next to that pink. My gosh. Let me change the exposure so you guys can see this a little bit better. See that? I'm starting to add like violets in there. This is so cool. Okay, I'm learning something. This is clicking. You guys get to learn, I get to learn. Definitely want to add it up here too. See, if I just did this one, I don't think I would have thought to add these pinks. Would have totally forgotten that. And again, if you are interested in purchasing any of these, you can go to my website and see the floral painting tab. 100 floral paintings. We're going to be doing 25 on the ARTEFEX panels. And just so you guys know, a finished painting of mine at this size sells for $900. So if you look at the price that I have in this sale, because these are alla prima, these are sketches, totally different than a gallery painting. So $900 for a fully finished glaze, all that stuff. These sketches that's why they're at a discount. Okay, so my galleries can't get mad at me. I'm bringing you guys some big, you guys can check out my website if you go to like the Still Life tab in the art gallery section. You can see my finished floral paintings. They're much more highly rendered, and I put in hundreds of hours into those. This, 1.5 into each. Okay, I've got 1 minute left. Do you guys have any last minute questions? Otherwise, I'm going to go relax. Probably read an art book. Read. I just look at the pictures. No, I do a little bit of reading. I have the Treatise on Oil Painting by Leonardo da Vinci. Been reading that lately. It's the last thing he was working on before he died. And I got to see the original pages from his book that he intended on publishing in Windsor Castle when I was in London just a few weeks ago. I had private access, just Olivia, my wife, and the curator and I, just the three of us. Thank you, Timothy Standring. Ah, so close. Alright guys, it is 8 o'clock. It's interesting how the camera is making this look a lot sharper on this bottom one. You know what it is I have a higher value contrast between light and dark here. And this is much more compressed. So I may just have to soften these edges a little bit more to achieve that same finish. this. Just soften these a little bit more. This is a clean Michael Klein round. So I'm thinking big form modeling, making broad strokes. Thank you, that was very chill yet educational. My pleasure, man. Glad you could be here, that was fun. Fun chat. A good group today. Remember, I'm not letting anything out the door that I'm not proud of. That's why I'm spending these last couple minutes softening these edges, because I really do think it's going to make the difference between something that's pretty good and something that's pretty darn good. Alright, I'll end it there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help grow things. You guys have heard that from everyone, I'm sure. It actually does. And if I plan to do this more often, it'd be awesome to have more people in the chat. So, thank you so much. Check out the sale. Go get yourself some ARTEFEX panels, some rosemary brushes, some silver brushes. I really, really appreciate it. Hope you learned a thing or two. I will see you in the next one. Probably sooner than later.